Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for today's video interview session brought to you by SLB Performance. The focus of the discussion today is going to be how to create an agile supply chain in an age of disruption. I don't think anybody's better suited to talk about this, to give best practices, advice, tips on what organizations can do than Jay Kent. Jay is the managing director at SLB Performance. I'm excited to be here with them today. Jay, why don't you give the folks out there a little bit of your background?
Thanks, Jason. Really great to be here. Very excited to talk about supply chain. I had a lot of experience in supply chain over the last 25 years. Had the fortunate ability to work at the C-suite for a number of large growth companies. And really what we want to do today is share a little bit of information with you, what we're seeing in the industry.
Fantastic. So let's get into it. I mean, supply chain, it's on everybody's mind. It's been all over the news, pandemic, post-pandemic. There's so much going on right now. What do you see right now as the state of supply chain today and really moving forward? What are your high-level thoughts, Jay?
Great question. Really what we're seeing is overall supply chains are starting to normalize. I think the pandemic obviously has identified a number of different areas that companies are really going back and trying to make sure that they can resolve. So unfortunately, there were some definite holes in the supply chain that were identified. I would say from a labor side, people continue to struggle with the number of associates that they have. Retention continues to be a challenge. I think there's more focus really in the last 18 months now on automation and ROI to make sure that they have the staff and or the tools they'll need for the future. I think you're starting to see some real great opportunities as it relates to small parcel. We're really seeing the market turn a little bit on that, and now would be a great time to renegotiate contracts. Ocean rates have been in the news quite a bit. Obviously, ocean rates have come down dramatically from what they were pre-post pandemic, and as well as some other modes of transportation. I think we have to be a little bit careful. There still is a number of challenges as it relates to things happening in the U.S. So the West Coast dock workers have not signed their agreement yet, and I think everyone hears quite a bit about the potential UPS strike later this summer.
A lot of stuff going on. And Jay, obviously SLB, you deal with shippers every day. It's kind of your bread and butter. What can shippers do to prepare, not only prepare, but really thrive and succeed in a landscape that is constantly changing, constantly evolving?
Yeah, I would say a couple of things. One is continue to diversify your carrier base. Again, there's been more and more news in the last, even the last week, about new companies that have started and perhaps maybe not hitting their expectation. There's been a number of different leadership changes. FedEx announced yesterday, one brand now, so they're making some changes. So whether it's a small carrier, a large carrier, a lot of different changes. I think from an overall standpoint, implementing vendor compliance on the inbound piece is a huge opportunity. Too much focus is really about the end of the process. And what people are missing right now is making sure that they have the vendor performance that they need so they can drive sales and improve their in-stock. So from a customer standpoint, that's really tantamount. We've seen continued reports that customers no longer are very happy if you're out of stock. And the last report that I saw, about 20% of people will not shop a customer if they're out of stock. So that's an opportunity. Parcel rates continue to be a good opportunity to leverage right now. There's a tremendous amount of business intelligence tools that are also available right now that will make a huge difference both operationally as well as financially. And then, last but not least, you need to make sure that you're bringing forward different challenges for your company, making sure that you are, getting rid of status quo. And I think now is really the time to look a little bit outside the box.
So Jay, talk a little bit about the value that SLB provides for its customers and why why they should work with you.
Absolutely. SLB is a advisory partner again, I take my operational, my supply chain deep experience and really work with our customers. First, understanding what the biggest challenges are, and then understanding how we can best help them save money, improve service, improve visibility. We can handle really a vast array of different areas, but we really focus on three main specific areas. One is small parcel cost savings, not only looking at the overall network, understanding what should be done from a service and a cost standpoint. Two, working with you as it relates to business intelligence. There's so much information that's out there that we really, quite frankly, help our customers for the duration and really an extension of their supply chain team for the length of the contract. The next thing is implementing vendor compliance, really providing proactive information for your vendors that's going to make a holistic change as it relates to in stocks, and ultimately it's going to drive to better sales. I've seen it time and time again at various retailers that I've worked for. It's a huge enabler and something I absolutely recommend. And then third, and not last, is really providing ocean rate audits. What we've seen in the last several years is really a tremendous amount of overbilling. And what we will do is do a free analysis of looking at your invoice cost, your demurrage, and helping you understand what you should be paying. On average, we're saving people 3 to 4% for the last 3 years of their overall ocean spend. So again, this could be some big money. The great thing about everything we do is, we've set this up so that we're going to provide a no cost, no obligation analysis, and we're going to have very little demand from you from a time side. There's a little bit of information we need to get, and then in some cases we'll be able to get back to you in a few days, and in other cases, worst case scenario, a couple of weeks, and really provide you a roadmap of where the opportunities are and how best to get there.
Yeah, I mean, you're really navigating waters for them, doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and you and I've talked about this a lot. The last thing a lot of these organizations need is another vendor, right? They need a partner and an extension of their team, and that's really the difference in what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree.
So Jay, how can people get in contact with you? You're in a lot of different places. You got a podcast going, LinkedIn, you're exceptionally active. What's the best way for folks to get in touch with you, and tell them about some of the content that we have coming up, because we're going to be doing a lot more of this type of stuff?
Yeah, so again, I'm excited to say that we're going to be doing some additional videos in the next few weeks to provide information. In addition, every day I will do a LinkedIn post, and then every 2 weeks we do Jay's Parcel Notes. And I'd ask you to please follow me on LinkedIn, subscribe to the Parcel Notes. I think you'll find them a very good synopsis of what's happened in the industry. Happy to connect with you. My information is readily available on my site, on LinkedIn, how best to get to me, but really looking forward to working with the various partners that are out there.
Well, Jay, I enjoyed the time today. Great conversation. And for everybody out there, appreciate you joining us. Be on the lookout for more content from Jay and the SLB team. And we hope to see everybody again soon. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.